happiness.
What do you want? I want happiness. Meditate on a lovely child. Meditate on a flying bird.
Anything that increases your happiness, you must do. You know how happy you are today. Tomorrow, by virtue of your willpower, if you can increase your happiness, then you will see that there is nothing formidable standing against you on your way. The day after tomorrow, again increase your happiness. When there is happiness, even if there is an obstacle, that obstacle does not remain as powerful as we thought. Happiness immediately unnerves or weakens the opposition party that is standing in our way. Always try to cultivate happiness. If you have happiness, then your mind's frustration, your mind's own way of thinking, will surrender. There is no other way to bend the head of the mind than to be happy. And this happiness is strength, strength, strength. Happiness is the strength of a lion, the power of an elephant. If you are happy with your life, nothing can stand against you. Your volcanic willpower will not allow anything to stand in your way.
The power of happiness knows no bounds.
At every moment, keep happiness in your mind, in your heart, in your breath, in all your actions. Your dream of happiness will give you patience and save you. You are seeing a garden 2 miles away. You have to tell yourself, no matter how difficult the road is, if only I can arrive there, I will get so much joy. As soon as I reach the flowers and breathe in their fragrance, I will be the happiest person.
Never forget even one happiness dream of yours.
When the heart is happy, it embraces the whole world. When the mind is happy, it accepts the world as its very own. When the vital is happy, it offers its very existence to the world. And when the body is happy, it serves the world the way the world wants to be served. Is the right to happiness a human right? Without the least possible hesitation, I venture to answer this question in the affirmative.
How do I find happiness? I find happiness by loving the world more, evermore.
The way of the heart has no U-turn. Once we start our journey, we only walk, march, run, and sprint along eternity's road. Here, each step reminds us of what we eternally are. Happiness, happiness, and happiness. Happiness and peace are inseparable. They are the obverse and reverse of the same coin. Happiness is the beauty of our soul, and peace is the fragrance of our soul. But we have to know that peace must be established on all the levels of our being. Perhaps we've established peace inside our heart, but not inside our mind. If we do not have peace of mind, then how will we have happiness? If one part of the being remains without peace, either the heart, the mind, the vital, or the physical, then happiness will remain a far cry. Real peace, divine peace, illumining peace, fulfilling peace, is bound to give us happiness when the entire being is inundated with it. We are bound to be happy if the entire being is peaceful.
Peace is the embodiment of abiding happiness.
We have two main instruments, the mind and the heart. The mind finds it difficult to be happy, precisely because the mind consciously enjoys the sense of separativity. It is always judging and doubting the reality in others. This is the human mind, the ordinary physical mind, the earthbound mind. But we also have the aspiring heart, the loving heart. This loving heart is free from insecurity, for it has already established its oneness with the rest of the world.
The heart creates happiness. The soul is happiness, and it spreads happiness allwhere. Always make yourself happy by imagining something higher, something longer, something faster. When it is running, just imagine that you are going faster. When it is high jump or pole vault, imagine jumping higher. Each time you imagine, feel that you are very happy that you have done it. Your imagination has absolutely no barriers. When you are imagining something, do not think that there are hurdles that you have to jump over. No, feel that the road is absolutely clear. There is only you and nobody else on the road. Your happiness is your strength. Happiness will give you confidence. Confidence will give you happiness. If you are doing the high jump or anything else, feel that you are doing it to make yourself happy. If today you are not doing your best, only tell yourself, it is not necessary. When the time comes, I can easily do it. At every moment, challenge your mind. You be the boss of your mind. The mind will always try to create self-doubt. The mind never gives us joy. Even if it gives us a certain amount of joy for 5 seconds, after 5 minutes, it takes away even more joy. Whatever you do it happily. Do not have any regrets. Oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. No, whatever you have done, feel that that is absolutely the right thing. That will give you joy. Once you do it, feel that you have done your best. Always convince your mind with happiness. Happiness. If you want to make progress, only think of your heart's happiness and how you can keep your entire being happy. Wherever you go, carry happiness with you.
Everybody wants to be happy. There are many ways to be happy, but many people have discovered that running is a most effective way to bring about happiness. Running demands not only the fitness of the body, but the fitness of the vital, mind and heart as well. What running is doing is keeping the body, vital, mind and heart fit, so that the soul can get complete happiness. The soul is happy when it sees that all its children have come to enjoy the feast.
What is happiness? Happiness is the producer of ceaseless energy. It is our heart's willingness that has the capacity to help us fly to our highest happiness heights.
Everything is divinely or undivinely contagious. Not only does the sadness or depression of others affect us, but their happiness also can easily enter into us. It is not only possible, it is inevitable. If you stay with a bad person, his badness is contagious. If you stay with a good person, his goodness is also contagious.
Frustration is contagious. Therefore, be careful. Happiness is contagious. Therefore, be happy. And see, by spreading your happiness, you increase your happiness.
In the happiness that comes from self-giving and aspiration, gratitude looms large. When we have inner happiness, we do not have to search for gratitude here and there. In our devoted cheerfulness, in our soulful cheerfulness, we are bound to discover constantly increasing gratitude to the Supreme.
Gratitude is pure happiness. Happiness is sure perfection.
We have to know what we mean by happiness and pleasure. Most of the time, the majority of human beings consider pleasure as happiness. But pleasure and happiness are actually two different things. When we have pleasure, we feel that our pleasure is immediately captured by frustration. And inside this frustration, we see a real sense of destruction. But when we have happiness, we see there is a constant and conscious expansion of the real reality within us.
Happiness is always an expansion of the heart.
Everybody has to fulfill himself, either today or tomorrow. Why? If we are not fulfilled, we are not satisfied. Everybody wants to be fulfilled. Everybody wants happiness. Without happiness, we cannot stay on earth. In spite of being a multimillionaire, a rich man is unhappy because his money is not giving him satisfaction or happiness. Without happiness, he remains miserable. Why do we want to be happy? Because we want fulfillment. How can one be eternally happy? By making thousands of dollars, a person may become happy for 5 minutes, or for a day, or for a few months. Then he becomes an ordinary beggar because his inner life is a barren desert. Eternal happiness is what he wants and needs. This eternal happiness he can get only from meditation. Meditation is the real soul of God, and at the same time, the real heart of man. This heart is not the physical organ. It is that part of us which identifies itself with others. The heart means identification with truth and light. During meditation, an aspiring heart can identify itself with truth, light, and beauty, with infinity, eternity, and immortality.
Meditation gives us happiness amidst the battles of life. It gives us happiness both in success and in failure, in victory and in defeat. You can always do the right thing if you meditate and meditate. While you are meditating, feel that both your eyes are inside your heart and they are swimming in your heart river. Feel that each eye is a swimmer. One is a human swimmer and the other is a divine swimmer. These two swimmers are swimming inside your heart river with tremendous inner joy, and this river is flowing into the sea. If you can see and feel this, then you will have inner happiness. If you have true inner happiness, not pleasure, but inner happiness, you will never make a mistake. Do you need happiness? Then do just 3 things. Meditate regularly, smile soulfully, love untiringly.
As individuals, no matter how many things we get or how many of our desires we fulfill, we will never have lasting happiness unless and until we see that others are also happy. We can never be satisfied with our own happiness because true happiness has to be all-encompassing. If everyone does not have it, I cannot have it either. Even if God fulfills all my desires, still I cannot be happy, for I will look around and see that somebody else is unhappy. And how can I be happy when I see that my brothers and sisters are not? Think of a child inside a beautiful garden. The child does not stay at one place. He looks at one flower and appreciates its beauty and fragrance. Then he runs to look at another flower. He gets tremendous joy in moving from place to place and seeing the beauty, fragrance, light, and delight inside so many flowers. Everywhere he goes inside the garden, he is happy, happy, happy. But if he remains confined to one place, he will not be happy. In exactly the same way, we human beings move from one place to another, appreciating the different flowers in God's life garden. One flower is called America. Another is called India or France. But these are just names and forms. Beyond the name and form comes the reality, which is all oneness. We all belong to one family, and we get tremendous joy when we share our heart's love and delight with the other members of our family.
Real happiness can never be found in separating ourselves from others. Real happiness comes only in feeling our oneness with others.
A rainbow has 7 colors. The 7 colors are representative of the 7 higher worlds. A rainbow signifies the happiness of the entire being. When we see a rainbow, immediately each part of our being gets joy. Even the muscles and the bones get joy, although we are not spiritually conscious of our muscles and bones. A rainbow is something that gives joy to each individual, right from the little boy to the octogenarian. Why? Because we all have an inner cry for the higher worlds. Some are conscious of this inner cry, while some are not. When we see a rainbow, immediately something within us, whether we are conscious of it or not, reminds us of the higher worlds and our own higher existence. A rainbow immediately takes us to the higher worlds. If we are conscious, we go consciously into the higher worlds. A rainbow means happiness. The outer rainbow gives us happiness in a very small measure. But happiness we will get in infinite measure if we can enter into the higher worlds. A rainbow brings the beauty of the inner worlds to the outer world for us to appreciate, admire, and adore.
May my heart's happiness rainbow expand and expand.
When we, as human beings, are inspired, we do many good things for ourselves and also for the betterment of the world. If we are not inspired, then we will have nothing to offer to the world. We may even try to harm ourselves or others. Inspiration can bring us so much happiness, and if we are happy, then we will also get peace. Inside happiness abides peace. If we are happy, then we will not quarrel and fight with others. We will not find fault with them. If you are happy, then you will be kind to me, and I will be kind to someone else, and from there it will spread. Happiness comes from inspiration. That is my simple philosophy.
If you look at something inspiring, you get spontaneous happiness, and spontaneous happiness is spiritual happiness.
Each individual feels a sense of separation. Each individual feels that so long as he can maintain his individuality, he will remain happy. But this is absurd. Happiness comes from oneness. You and I must become inseparably one in order to become happy. But the world does not believe in that kind of happiness. The world wants separation, although separation ends in frustration, and frustration ends in destruction. It is very difficult to achieve oneness. Even in our own being, there is often conflict. Sometimes the mind wants to do something and the physical revolts or the vital revolts. The heart wants to do something and the other parts of our being revolt. In our own personal existence, we have no harmony. So how can we expect to have peace on earth? It is lack of prayer and meditation that causes this problem of separativity. If we pray soulfully and meditate soulfully, then this problem can easily be solved. At that time, there will be a world without conflict, without war, without misunderstanding. There will be a world of oneness, satisfaction, and perfection. This world of oneness, satisfaction, and perfection can dawn only when we want to go to the source and become part and parcel of the source.
Swim in the ocean of oneness delight, or sink in the sea of separation night.
I feel that it is through prayer, meditation, and dedicated service that world peace can take place. Each individual has to try to make others happy, for it is only through happiness that we can have peace. If we can offer happiness to someone lovingly and sincerely, then that particular person will have only goodwill toward us. From happiness we get peace, and from peace we get happiness. The two are inseparable.
My morning begins, and I am immediately embraced by world peace dreamers and world happiness lovers.